I started after I studied the regular studies of a young person. I studied at the École Nationale Supérieure des Beaux-Arts in Paris, and I studied painting mostly. And but then I had this interest in other techniques already. Mosaic is not sculpture, but it uses the materials of sculpture, the marble, and cutting it on hard material, and it's heavy. And then, well, I needed to find a job, so I found this after 2 or 3 little theaters that I started to work in. Then I could work in the Comédie Française, which was a great thing. When I worked in the theatre before in France, I didn't work in costumes. I worked in props, masks, armors, and sets. New Orleans is a great place to do art. There are many top quality galleries. More than I would have expected from a small town like this. And being so many galleries, there is a lot of competition. I mean, stimulation rather than competition. A lot of stimulation, because a lot of good art is done in this city. And also it's easy to meet the other artists. It's not so big that you're lost in the middle of nowhere. No, it's a good place. Okay, so yes, I work with all these different materials, but there is a common element in all of them, and the common element is a wave line, a wavy line. It's everything is abstract, but it doesn't go all over the place. I don't have any work that is based on the point, or even the square, the rectangle, or the triangle, which are abstract shapes. Everything is derivative of a curve. It's pretty simple for sculpture. You just take chisels and electric tools, and that's simple. You have to draw vaguely what you want on the material. Here, for example, I have all these big beams. I roughly draw where I want to go. It's rough, and then as you advance with the tools, it gets more and more clear where you go. For bronze, it's different because you work first with clay. You make your sculpture in clay, and then you make a mold on that, so you can work on it until it is poured in bronze. It's soft and you can work on it. But this is pretty simple. Now, what I do with painting is, these days, it's a little bit different. I start on paper these days, and completely random. I just set a size and the material, but randomly I apply a coat of, say, acrylic paint just to give some texture and support to the paper so that it's solid and durable. But after that I like to do drippings, dripping of paint. Yeah, for these works on paper, it seems to be anything but a paintbrush. I like to use industrial paints also, and not paint in tube. And it seems to be, and it is in fact in the beginning, completely random. And then I let it dry. The next day I come, and of course it's far from being finished and completed. And it's layers and layers, and I see as it evolves, as it comes, I see more and more intention in it, until it becomes at the end completely intentional. But it starts random, and by control it little by little with time, it becomes intentional completely.